As a fairly new medium, video games were often met with skepticism due to their content. Allegations of violence, sexuality or racism are amongst the most popular reasons why some conservative countries took the banhammer and totally squashed some video game titles. But there are some other cases where the censorship happened due to totally absurd reasons. Regardless of the motivation that got them banned, the following list encompasses 10 of the most interesting situations where different countries decided to proscribe video games. You might think that EA Sports MMA got banned due to the intense fighting scenes that involve brutal kicks and ruthless chokes, but the truth is much more ridiculous. It seems that Denmark doesn't do well with advertisements for caffeinated and sugary beverages, and since this game features quite a few marketing materials for energy drinks, the result was that it got totally banned. EA Sports didn't want to change the content just for this market, so the game remained out of reach for the Danish gamers. The opening mission of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 shows how a tactical team works with the Mexican authorities to take down guerrillas in the city streets. The explosive firefights depicted and the general sense of danger emanated by the brutal clashes between police forces and rebels were considered a degrading image of the city of Juarez. The conclusion, the mayor decided to seize all the copies of the game and forbid it from ever being sold to anyone within the city. The Postal series is notorious for constantly pushing the limits. The plot of Postal II tells the story of an ordinary man who turns into a homicidal maniac as the gameplay progresses, this being enough reason to treat the delivery of the game with great care. But New Zealand took things to a whole new level, declaring to be totally outraged by the gross, abhorrent content of the game: urination, high-impact violence, animal cruelty, homophobia, racial and ethnic stereotypes, and definitively banned the game. The authorities from Saudi Arabia have concluded that both the electronic and physical versions of the Pokemon trading card game have an energy symbol that seems to resemble the Star of David. And as everyone knows, this mark is directly linked to international Zionism and also being Israel's national emblem, which is a highly sensitive subject in Saudi Arabia. Although this resemblance wasn't made on purpose, the harmless pocket monster still got banned in this country. The second installment of the highly brutal and popular Manhunt series really cranked up the gore and brutality to levels never seen before. The United Kingdom took a strong position and refused to even classify the game. As a result, Manhunt 2 received no rating at all, becoming ostracized right from the start. The lead was followed by Germany, Ireland, New Zealand, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and South Korea, totally banning it from sale. Even though Thailand does not normally censor video games that have violent content, the particular case we're going to talk about made the authorities ban all of the Grand Theft Auto titles. In 2008, a young man hailed a taxi in Bangkok, and instead of paying for the ride, he pulled out a knife and straight up murdered the driver, just to see if killing in real life was as easy as it looked in game. This unfortunate event marked the end of all GTA sales in Thailand. The Fallout series we all know and love was banned in Australia because their government thought one very specific aspect of Fallout 3 was far too similar to real life and would be a banned influence. Why? Chems. Chems are consumables that change the status of your character. Taking Mentants, for example, increases your character's intelligence and buff out increases strength. Back in 2008, Fallout 3 was refused classification in Australia by the Office of Film and Literature Classification. The Australian government decided that chems too closely resembled actual drugs. Germany is well known for banning video games that feature harmful actions towards characters that resemble human beings. Since the enemies in Dead Rising 3 are rabid zombies that look very much human-like, the Federal Department for Media Harmful to Young Persons took action and banned the sale of the game. The previous title of the Dead Rising series received the same banhammer treatment, as did Left 4 Dead 2 and Scarface: The World Is Yours. Despite the global success of the Mass Effect franchise, Singapore's Media Development Authority was visibly bothered by a scene where a human female character can choose to engage in a love scene with an alien woman. However, after giving it more thorough thought, the authorities unbanned the game but rated it M18, still keeping a close eye on the public it is going to be marketed towards. There are quite a lot of things that could be found offensive in Counter-Strike: the terrorism connection, the flourishing violence, and the foul-mouthed players community. On a totally unexpected note, the Brazilian authorities decided to ban the game for the way it portrayed the local slum, named favela, in Brazil. They were rather upset that Counter-Strike showcased the poverty, violence, and corruption of these neighborhoods, so they decided it's best to ban the game in order to protect national pride. This was our list mentioning some dark times when countries banned some of our favourite games, and we hope you've enjoyed our video. If you did, please press that like button, as we do appreciate it and it helps us immensely. We often ask our audience for suggestions to compile these lists, and if you'd like to contribute, please follow Frag Hero on Facebook. If you know of other such instances, please tell us in the comments below, because we do try to read pretty much everything. Now would also be a great time to encourage you to subscribe, because we upload new stuff all of the time, so subscribing will keep you up to date with all of our latest videos. You can also check out fraghero.com for more gaming related articles, but until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.